Okay, we are back and we're going to continue adding visuals to our dashboard. We've already added one for average registrations so that we can see each of our 5 instructors and what is their average registration per class. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a percent of class filled. So if we look at our table here, we've added this column here. We want to add another visual, and this visual is going to be a standard bar visual, and we'll just put it right underneath our average registrations. And the data that we want in our y-axis is going to be our instructor. And for our x-axis, we want percent filled. There we go. And now let's clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to remove the y-axis side title, and I'm going to remove our y-axis title here. And then I also want to take out the lines down there. So we're going to take that off as well. And then we want to make sure our values are showing. So let's turn on data labels here. And that looks good. And then I want this to expand out a little bit more. I'm gonna expand this one to match. Table. Okay. And I'm going to rename this visual. I'm going to go to title, and I'm just going to call this percent of class filled. Okay, that looks good for now. We're going to have some more visuals that have percentages, so I think we'll stick with a theme where our percentage visuals will be a certain color. So let's go to visual bars, and then we'll change this color to something else. We'll change it to orange. All right, now we're able to see that for this instructor here, their percent filled is 39%. So everything's seems like very low, and that is what I'm expecting here. If we look at an average 8 registrants for this instructor, that the total possible is about 15. So total possible registrants is about 15. So everything's looking right. I want to add another visual, but before I can add that visual, I need to first add some more data to my table, because I want to add region data. Now I have class location data, and all of these class location values are time zones. So I could extract region based on that. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back and transform my data in the Power Query editor and add ourselves a region column. Source file change location. So I actually need to fix this before I can continue. So this is a good troubleshooting example here. We had our source file in one folder, and then it got moved to another one. So for that, I can actually just open up my OneDrive here, and I can find that file location. We got the file location open here. Show you what it looks like here. Now, just the heads up, when you're in this view, finding the file, to get the actual like URL string, you can click like this and it will show you. And then so we can look up here and then we can see like, yeah, it used to be in this other location here. So what we can do is grab part of the string here. And I can see here is where the file needs to be changed. We're gonna go ahead and put that in there, and that should fix that. Now let's go back to our last applied step, and looks good. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this location column here. So if we highlight the column, and then we go to add a column, and we go to duplicate column, it's going to put a new column, that same column here, at the end of our table. And I'm going to rename this. And we're going to call it region. Perfect. Now what we need to do is we have all these values here, and we need to change these into the region. So what we can do is just start by copying the first value here. And then we can click here and go to replace values. And then paste in this value. And we have 4 regions that or actually technically we have, let's see. Right, we have 4 regions that we're working with in our company. So this region here, we refer to it as IMETA. So I'm using the standards set by my company, not just something like random that I'm coming up with, but something that has value for the stakeholders. So I'm going to change it to this one to IMETA. And then we can see those change. And then we can go ahead and grab the next value and then do the same exact thing. Only this one is going to be North America. These are going to be all abbreviated, so we're just going to go with NA for North America. Great. So we're going to do that for all the rest of these values in this column. And so I'm going to skip ahead until we're done with that, or once we're done with that. So I'm going to skip ahead so that we can get right back into creating the visual. Check and see. Looks like we've changed them all. We have our 4 standard values there. So now we can close and apply these changes. Now we can add our region to our table. So let's do that. Put region in here. And let's move it. We'll move it up to here. So now we have region in our table. That's great. Now we can add another visual. And this one, I'm going to make a stacked column chart. And I'm going to put it right underneath this one. And this one is going to be region for our our x-axis, and then it's going to be percent build for the y-axis. And then once again, we're going to remove some of these on the side here, I want to keep those values, but I want to get rid of the title down there. And then I'm going to do similarly for this. And in fact, I'm going to shut our whole y-axis off. And then I want the data labels to appear there. And then we're going to leave the title as it is. So now we have that one. This is kind of useful. Make this a little bit bigger and put this one here. These, and we're gonna have these a bit bigger too. That, bring this down. That looks good for now. All right, that's going to do it for this video. We're going to work on more visuals in the next video. So we will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.